Hello guys and welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video we'll be breaking down a trade on the euro today, beautiful trade which I'm going to explain. But before we get into that, I want to break down sort of our copy trader that we're currently doing and sort of the strategy behind it, which I'm about to explain. So look, let's get straight into it, let's break it down and we can go from there. So this is the Vanquish Capital MyFX book and this is basically the data that we have at the moment. So our fund, which uses the fee-44 strategy, it's phenomenal sort of strategy. It's done anywhere between 750% gain since inception, which is obviously incredible. And as you can see today, 0.41%, this week 0.58, this month 0.41. We just started, just the start of October, isn't it? Yeah. And then this year 61% so far to date. But just look at a few statistics here. As you can see, sort of from the month, August 7.23%, September 5.39%, July 5.49%, June. So all the data, all the statistics there, and obviously inception January 2022, everything is there for you to have a look at, and then you can do your full due diligence on. So yeah, if this is something that is interesting, where you can actually copy these trades onto your MT4 account, completely free, minimum deposit $500, withdraw anytime you want. Let me know. There'll be a link in the description below. One, to obviously message me and join, and then two, I'll put this MyFX book here so you can see the data of sort of our portfolio. So that's all, guys. Like I said, in the description, the links will be there. Click on them, and it'll take you to the right destination. Right, so now to the most important thing, EURUSD, beautiful trade today. It is, what's the date today? It's the 1st of October. It's a Tuesday. So let's break it down in depth and see if you took it or you can learn something from it. So on the 4-hour chart here, first thing you want to do is obviously mark up sort of your highs and lows. As you can clearly see here, we had a strong rejection of this buy side liquidity resting above here. Okay, top right. As you can see, price came, traded into there, violated it, and had a strong impulse move downwards. Then we had this correction back up into it, and then we followed by another push down. Okay, so indicating that there's some bears in the market, especially after sweeping that liquidity there. Okay, so that buy side has been swept. And normally, what happens after the buy side, you kind of want to target the sell side and look for potential further sales once. So we have another price potential target here, being this sell side liquidity here. And we're in this dealing range right now. We're dealing within that high and this low, okay? And let's see, we violated that high, and then they're showing indications that bears want to step into the market, essentially. Also, what we have here as well, this move here on the 4-hour, we have imbalance, which obviously hasn't been met. And to be more specific, running through here, we have this BPR, which did get partially mitigated there with that move, but more so, as you can clearly see here, it was there. But also, if I drag this all the way across here, what you can see is we've had another bit of imbalance here that hasn't been filled. So as you can clearly see, this area here, this void within this dealing range was a price target which price wanted to come to, okay? And it did so, and we rejected it here, okay? So this area of imbalance was always a price target, leaving this to be this low here, sell side liquidity. Why? Because it was a low formed just above that area of imbalance that hasn't been mitigated. So you want to see price kind of fill that and trade into that, okay? But let's go into today on the 15-minute time frame. So taking that in consideration, everything that I just mentioned there, these are our price targets, and obviously that's where price is going. Like so. So when we wake up in the morning, all we have in front of us is sort of the Asia data, and hopefully we can take something from that. So yeah, looking at just what we have here. So what we see price do is, like I said, we manipulate these highs, had a strong impulsive move down, and then we start moving corrective. And this was some horrible market structure, I must admit. Nothing was really giving here. Then when we see price came back and retest these highs, we saw a strong impulsive push downwards in the market, taking out all these lows. Okay, all this. So if I just mark that there, like so, taking out all this in the market, okay, with this move here. And it was a strong move, and it also gave us sort of indication that price is still moving bearish. Why? Because it was taking lows and giving us sort of breaks of structures in the market, price pushing lower. Okay, cool. So now that being said, when we look at this in the morning, all we got in front of us is what we got here. Okay, so on the 15-minute time frame, we clearly have a price point, which is this high here and this low. So this is kind of our sort of lower time frame dealing range. We're dealing within this highs and this low. And price can either do one or two things. It can either export and take the highs, or export take the lows. Okay. As you can clearly see, we have got some imbalance in here as well, which was filled perfectly. But our more attention was on the Asia range. Okay. So taking in consideration, we had the sell side targets down here with that imbalance price range that hasn't been filled. We also want to see we're in bearish market structure, we're in bearish flow. So I was just waiting for the right opportunity to get in, and on the 50-minute it presented itself. Let's jump on the 3-minute time frame. Okay. 3-minute, no, 5-minute. Yeah, 5 minutes, perfect. Okay, cool. So at the 5-minute, I'm just looking at this Asia session here, okay, and what I have in front of me is I have my Asia high liquidity, top right. Then I have my Asia low liquidity, okay? Asia low liquidity. And now what I'm waiting for during this Asia session is either one of things to be manipulated to give us indication and confidence where price is either going to go. Either it's going to go to A or B, i.e. take this high or take this low. That's all what really price can do because we're stuck within this range. And as you can clearly see, the setup appeared here where we see price trade into this. So we had a bit of accumulation, then we see price rally up into there, push away, and then gave us that market structure shift that we needed, sweep of those highs, sweep of the Asia, and then straight back down. So let me tie that up and make it look a bit more presentable. So we had a low here, that got a market structure shift. Whoops. That low shifted in the market. Okay. We then take out this high here with that X top right, that's so. Asia session there. We then sweep that Asia session high with just those wicks. Don't like me, like so. And then when we had that in place, we then have a leg in the market. Why? Because we're just taking out all this market structure here and we swept the highs. So the next indication for us is where we want prices to go is to attack sell side. So from swing high to swing low here, we can draw in our fib levels and we can look for something called the OTE, which is optimal trade entry, which is anywhere between 0.62 and 0.79 Fibonacci retracement. Okay, and that ties in beautifully with a 5-minute balance price range. If I draw your attention to this move here, that the move that pushed up to sweep the highs and then pushed away, we had this beautiful 5-minute fair value balance price range in there. Okay, and that's what we call BPR. BPR, and we call it minus because we're looking for sales from that BPR. Okay, beautiful. So now we have that in place. The entry was as evident. We want to wait for the OTE and we want to wait for this BPR to be hit. And obviously you just enter anywhere around in here like so. SL. Now the entry is done. We now need an exit plan, which is the most important thing as well. It's all good getting into trades, but how do you get out of it? When do you know when you're going to get out of it? All important things that we need to understand. So if I take this high, for example, we know that the SL, if price was to basically push higher and go above this level, we know that's where the SL is going to be. That's where we no longer want to be in the trade. I normally say it from that low and about 1.5 pips, 2 pips extra. So in this instance, it will be 57. That's 57 pips. 20 pips higher. So just gives you that breathing room of if price were to go in the wrong way, that it still gives you a bit of breathing room where you can so like spreads or slippage don't affect the trade essentially as much. So that's the entry. Then exit plan. Now exit plan is just as important. Okay, we need exit plans in sort of in the market, and to let sort of runners run to as far as they can. Now, the exit plan for me was, let me just move this out of the way so it's a bit more clearer. Leave those there, yeah, perfect. So exit plan with me was evident, okay? We had the Asia low here, we had standard deviations that need to be met, okay? And we also had these lows here. So the first bit for me was, it was Asia low. So I wanted to take 25% off at Asia low. That being, there's so much downside potential that I was, like I said, I wanted to at least take 25% off and leave a runner done. So as soon as that happens, when price comes down into here, what I do is I take 25% of my original position, okay, and then leave the rest to run. And then you can capitalize that on a lot more. The next point was around one standard deviation and this sell side liquidity low. Sell side liquidity at bang there. So another 25% was left, and it left me to just leave another 25% at 2 standard deviation, another 25% at 3. Okay. Now this trade did run on a lot further to our TPs, but I was more than happy with my profits at this. I was more than happy to take it at the 3 standard deviation, and that's what it was, and that's the trade. But I had an exit plan from this moment I started. As soon as the trade hit 25% here at the Asia low, stop loss moved to break even, and then you could continue to just trail that stop loss until you're happy and satisfied with your profits and TPs, and yeah, that's essentially it. And now obviously right now came into that, starting to reject, and now we might be able to see a little push now during the rest of New York back up into here. But yeah, guys, that's Euro USD broken down to today. Beautiful opportunity, beautiful trading opportunity, and yeah. So look, guys, if you want to see more videos like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Forex breakdown.